Hi, hello, and good evening. My name is Fritz Kelly Edmund, and I will be your counselor for the night. If you could go ahead, could you tell me what's your name, sir?
My name is Patrick Ace Fair. But normally my friends call me Pat or Patrick, depending on how they feel.
Okay, so is I'm leaning towards Pat. Is Pat okay?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Yeah.
All right, no problem. So, Pat, we're gonna go ahead and get started. First thing I'd have to let you know is that because this is our first session, it's gonna be relatively shorter than the rest. It's probably gonna range between 25 to 30 minutes. Won't be that long. We're just gonna get over some introductory stuff. Excuse me, introductory stuff. Is that do you understand so far?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So another thing I need to put out there is, excuse me, one moment. No,
Bless
sorry
you.
about that. Thank you. I'm a little under the weather right now. I'm sorry if I sound nasally or if I would sneeze and cough throughout the meeting. I just want you to know that if I could, I'd be in better health for this meeting, but unfortunately, I can't control that. Is that an issue for you?
No, it's perfectly fine. I mean, we're
Okay.
over Zoom, so I won't be getting sick.
Okay, no problem. Thank you for being understanding. With that being said, moving on to what I was going to say. Um, this meeting is strictly confidential. Whatever you and I discuss will stay between us. No one else will hear wind of it, no hear tell of it. Sorry. If anyone were to ask, unless there was proof that you were a threat to yourself or others, or unless I were to get some court mandated, court ordered subpoena, nothing that you tell me or that I talk about with you will ever leave the confines of this meeting. Do you understand?
Yeah, that makes like perfect sense. Yeah, I get it.
Okay. Well, thank you for understanding. With that being said, due to the nature of our relationship, moving forward, if I were to see you outside of this meeting in public, I am required to walk away. I'm not obligated, nor am I allowed to walk up to you on the street and say hello, how are you doing? Due to the nature of our relationship. Um, you are free to reach out to me in public if you were to see me. You are free to say, "Hey, Mr. Fritz, how you doing?" I can't do the same. Do you understand?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, with that being said, Patrick, tell me what brings you here today.
Well, over the past few months, as when I say a few months, I mean like two or three. Nothing crazy. I've been having like I've been feeling like sad and like lonely. Uh, it's weird because I have a very loving girlfriend, been with her for over a year and a half, and a very loving family, which I still live with. But it I don't know why I'm sad, and I don't know like what the issue is, but it's been like this since like the middle of summer onward.
Okay. So you said middle of summer. You say 2, 3 months. Could you like? Is it okay if I ask you to like try to pinpoint, estimate a date?
Um, Probably around like July 4th. Like really, um, then I think that'd be like a good like marking point.
Okay, Independence Day. Okay, I hear you. Did anything significant happen that day,
Um,
either this year or in years past?
I mean, this past year, I went to go see fireworks with my mom and my little sister in Pittsburgh and things. Uh, and that was like the big like fun activity for the day. But as for like, I mean, I did like miss a gathering with a few of my friends, but in my life, like family does take priority. Like we're a very like Italian household, and family is like number one, if not number two, sort of thing.
Okay, I understand. I hear you. And you say this past year, as in July 4th, 2023, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So you said this is when you started to feel sad, but all of those sound like happy events. You're with your family, family takes priority over your friends. So you're telling me all these positive things, all these happy things, yet you're saying that's when you started to feel sad. And if you could you like help me understand that? There's a bit of an incongruency there.
Um, so that July 4th is normally like me and my friends like get together day. Because we have a friend who has like a large like bit of land, so we normally hang out and do fireworks because everybody else is lives relatively in Pittsburgh or around Pittsburgh. So the different like zoning and thing, like the laws for fireworks, because fireworks aren't allowed in everywhere or like bonfires and things. And we normally go out to her house like for like the fourth and shoot fireworks and do the traditional like American stuff. And this year I didn't go, and I was with family, which is still a good thing. It's not like I'm with a bunch of strangers or I'm just sitting at home. Still traveled out about an hour one way and got to see like fireworks and stuff. But I missed that gathering, and it just hasn't felt the same, I guess.
Okay, so it's safe to assume that the sadness is friend based. It's friend related.
I probably, yeah, I think.
Okay, all right. If you could you tell me about these friends?
Um, so I've known so there's like three different groups of my friends. It's weird to think about it, but we're all one big group. But I knew each set of them at different points because they came to Cal at different points. Met them all in college. Like the first group, they graduated when I did back in 2020, spring 2022. Another group graduated fall 2022, and then the last group graduated in this past spring 23.
Okay.
And so, but I'm still in school. And so even though we talk every day on like Discord and like different like group message apps, um, we're not there in person like it used to be.
Right. So let's talk about how you met these friends. You say you met them in college. Are these friends from a similar major, or did you these just people who you met through people through events? You know.
So I met two of them because they were like basically they were like next door neighbors inside the dorms, and then another two I got introduced to, but the five of us all like really like meshed well. And then the second group came in, met them through like our play group of like D&D and stuff, which was like a lot of fun back then. But then COVID hit, really messed things up, and then met the last two uh like right after COVID because they got close with the other friends and I came in because I then began commuting or begin commute, however you pronounce it. And that's when I started meeting them, and then we all got close. As in, like they got like dorms all right next to each other inside the residence halls, and I was able to like see them like almost daily, and so it was really cool to basically live with your best friends. But
Right.
then grad school came along, and academics first.
Academics first. All right. So I'm hearing a lot of first here, right? So you usually you tend to hang out with your friends in July 4th, correct?
Yeah,
And this year you didn't because family first, correct?
yeah. This time around, it was like family first because
Okay.
I got asked by like a coworker of mine. He like traveled all around the world. He has recently just came back from the Philippines, and like just from like teaching because he taught there for like 3 months to do like English education, and just like the international experience and like talking to him and like meeting his family because his parents are immigrants here, and so like he's a first wave American for his family or first gen
Right.
American, and
Okay.
it's really cool just like listening to him talk and because there's just so many stories, and so he asked me to come over to the fourth first because the third is his birthday, and so it's like full celebration, and so I went there, and then my buddies made the plans of all meeting up on the 4th. And because he is also close friends with my mom, uh, just because of how like different things interacted, my mom was like, "Yeah, let's all go." And so I already made plans for that, and then everything else got finalized, and so family first, sort of thing.
So it almost sounds to me like you didn't put your family first. Family made plans first. That's what it sounds like.
In a way, yeah,
Okay.
but it's also even if it wasn't, even if they didn't make plans first, uh, I would have went family.
Family. Okay. So you would have put family first regardless, even though in this case, family plans first.
Yeah, in this
Okay.
situation, it's both. They hit the first for both of them this time.
So on one instance, we have you putting family first, and then you mentioned a couple minutes ago about your friends having to. I'm gonna speak loosely a bit, but you had to put your friends in the back burner for a bit because academics first,
Yeah.
correct? Okay. So we have in front of us a situation where you, as a man, you have your priorities in order. You know what you need to prioritize: family, friends second, academics, friends second, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it sounds to me, Pat, like this the fact that you can't experience and enjoy time with your friends as much as you used to do is making you is the cause of your sadness, if that makes sense. Because yeah, you're making your priorities and you're doing what needs to be done and you're handling what needs to be handled. But at the same time, it sounds to me like that in itself is making you sad. What do you have to say about that?
Um. So there's this thing. It's a trendy thing. It's called FOMO, FOMO, fear of
Just
missing
spell that
out.
into fear of missing out. Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like it might be something like that where it's like, oh, all my buddies are like all together, and then there's me, which I want to say is normal, but I just haven't been able
Well,
to see them because of how they like the times that they choose to meet up. Because they are they're more available during the week just based on their schedules and how like their work rotations are. But academically, like the academic school week and every other normal work week is Monday through Friday. Where they able to
okay.
meet up, completely unable to.
Okay.
And so I haven't seen them in collectively in about like 8 months, like altogether. I've seen one or two like in the past month or so, but not not as like the commune, I guess.
So since it's September, 8 months ago would have been January, correct?
Yeah.
You haven't seen all of your friends since January.
Yeah, like as a full group, I haven't seen them.
Are these friends still in school?
No. The last group of them graduated in the spring 23.
So there were some that graduated prior to spring 23.
Yeah. So one part spring 23, another part fall, yeah, spring 23, fall 22, and then another group was spring 22. So with each like the spring fall like rotation, like a different like set of them have graduated.
Okay. So if I may, Patrick, Pat, I'm sorry. If I may, um,
Either works.
I'm sorry about that. They graduated. Are any
Yeah.
of them in grad school like you are?
Um one is looking into it, but as of right now, they're not into anything. Hold on. My mom is calling me. I'm just gonna reply to her real quick. I apologize.
By all means, take your time.
All right, I'm good. Sorry about that.
Is everything all right?
Yeah, she's probably just checking on me because I'm currently house sitting for my uncle and
Okay.
pet setting.
It's very nice of you. Um, I'll continue with where we were heading. So it sounds to me like you're the only one who's actively in grad school, correct?
Yeah, I'm the only one in school, just as a whole.
And since all of you have graduated from undergrad, is it safe to assume that everyone who isn't in grad school is either working or looking for work?
Yeah,
Okay. So it seems to me like there's possibly a chance you're not the only one who feels like this. Perhaps there are other friends in your friend group who feel as though they're also missing out because they have to, take care of their responsibilities and their duties now that they're out in the real world. Does that make sense?
yeah, I can see it.
So, all right. With that being said, let's try to look at it like this, okay? Let's When's the last? You said you haven't had a big group meetup with the full like scope of your group and like everybody in your group since January, correct?
Yeah, yeah,
But you ever had any meetups with a few of them? One, two, three, four of them?
yeah. So the last time I saw the last time I saw anybody in the group was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Uh, like my one buddy said, "Oh, I'm off work. It's not Independence Day. It's Labor Day,"
Labor Day, yeah, Labor Day.
and
Keep,
he invited everybody out for a watch through of Lord of the Rings, or at least the first few. And everybody else was unable to because it was so last minute. But I really, literally, grabbed my bag, packed everything, and just headed over. Drove about an hour and a half to go see him. And but he's the only one I've seen in like 2 months since that. And then the last real like hangout with like three or more of them was right before the last set of them graduated.
okay. For those for the meetups that you've had post graduation, or post their graduation, I should say,
Yeah.
did it feel awkward? Did it feel
Uh,
empty?
no, it. There's no way for me to like put this like in a simple word, but it was like whenever you see like a bunch of like older guys who haven't seen each other in like a decade, but they see each other at a bar and they pick up the conversation where they left off. That's exactly what it felt like. It just felt like we were picking up from where we were. Still talking about the same games, still talking about things. But actually like being in person, um, it felt really nice because I still talk to them online, but it's a screen.
Okay, I understand. You talk to them online a lot, correct? Is what you're saying,
Yeah,
but you don't see in person nearly as much as you talk online.
yeah, no, not in person.
Okay, but like you just said yourself, whenever you meet up, it's like a bunch of old dudes at a bar chatting about things you should chat about 10, 20, 30 years ago, correct?
Yeah,
Which is a pretty easy to understand metaphor. I mean, personally, I was able to picture like a bunch of firefighters, a bunch of retired firefighters just
yeah,
like sitting in the bar talking about that one dog they saved or something.
mhm,
But with that being said, with like the thing about those firemen at the bar is that they trust that the friendship that they have can stand the test of time. Does that make sense?
yeah,
Like they have faith that all the stuff that they've gone through and the bonds that they've built when they work together every single day is strong enough to overcome a period of silence or two or a period of absency because there's a difference between constancy and consistency. um, just because something is constant doesn't mean it's consistent, but it seems to me like your friendship with these guys is still consistent even though you guys don't constantly see each other. Is that a concept that's easy to grasp and understand?
yeah. I'd say so.
Okay. So with that being said, let's rewind and move back just a little bit. Let's go back to the feeling of sadness. Is it safe for us to assume that you are feeling sad because you are afraid of missing out, right? we can establish that, right?
I did mention that. I don't think it's because I'm missing out. I think it's more so like
All right. Well, then what is it?
it sounds lame. I think it's just because I'm missing them, like in person.
Okay. Is I'm just gonna throw this question out there, but if I may, I'd like to ask, is there a bit of fear coming coming out here? Like a fear of, you said fear of missing out, but what I'm hearing is like perhaps there's a fear of getting left behind.
I
Like Patrick comes to the bar when everyone's retired, and then come to find out they don't want to talk to Patrick about the stuff they used to do because they haven't talked to Patrick in years. Is that a fear that's coming up? Is that something that I'm
yeah,
conveying?
I'll be honest here. Yeah, um, because I know I'm 23, and I don't know if I told you that or you saw it on my chart or anything, but I'm 23 years old, and I have worked in like pretty steady jobs, like full time and things, but I haven't had a job in my field. And with a lot of my friends, they're already inside the field. They're already like doing what they were trained to do and doing what they love to do. And so it, I am feeling like I've been left behind because I'm not there. I'm not at that position of a job. I'm not at there. Like I'm still in training and I'm still in grad school, which is still a good thing. It's not a bad thing, I know, but I definitely know that they're they're doing better than me.
Okay.
What was that?
Are they doing better than you?
I mean, definitely financially.
Are
I'm not broke, but I'm not financially stable at the moment. But
they not financially stable?
and they're also more established in their fields.
Established in their fields. What field are you in? I don't think I ever asked that. What field are you in?
Oh, ironically enough, I'm in the school counseling program at
Oh,
Penn West.
okay. Well, Vulcans. Okay. So since I'm in the field, I think I'm qualified to tell you that you won't go very far without a master's degree. So since this is your interest, you can't reach the point that they're at without first going through the point that you're at now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Sorry, the the puppy. Oh, sorry about that. My
Having some
camera just went
difficulties?
out.
That's unfortunate.
Do you see her little snout?
I do. It's a nice dog. Well, nice snout. I couldn't see. There it is. Hello, dog.
Her name is Sarah. She
Hello,
is
Sarah.
a black lab.
Hello, Black Lab Sarah.
But
So
yeah,
is it okay if we get back on topic though? I'm
yeah, I
sorry.
apologize. She is probably hungry. So
I know. It's her world. We're just living in it. We're interrupting her time with our Zoom meeting about this important topic. But so like I was saying before, Sarah had to steal the spotlight.
mhm.
Um, you can't get to the point that they're at where they can work in their field without first getting a master's degree because you're in a field that's more competitive. So because of that, um, your master's degree lets people know that okay, all right, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's mastered the subject. Does that does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay. And then you have to go through all these exams and all of these processes while you're in school, and you have to go through this, that, and the third just to sort of get to where they're going to be at. So let's keep in mind that even though you might not be in the workforce for a specific field right now at the moment, let's keep in mind that after you're done with this chapter of your life, this grad school chapter, you're going to be right where they are. And even though you're not where they are now or where you think or where you see that they are, you're still friends with them and comfortable enough in your friendships to where what like you said when you talk to them you feel as though nothing changes. The conversation continues exactly the way it used to back when you all were in undergrad living in dorms near each other, correct?
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
I mean, yeah, it does make sense. I mean, calm down. Uh, it does make sense. It's still just a sinking feeling.
Oh no,
Like,
I understand. I understand.
just I mean, I don't really have like much else to really say about it. Like, I I love my friends. I want to be around them like 24/7, like anybody else does. But I also know that I have a family and a loving girlfriend that are also with me, so I shouldn't like expect them to be like the only source of happiness or the only source of like anything. But it does suck not being able to see them, even when it is like one time out of the well, especially if it is like one time out of the very few gatherings.
So yes, you have a loving family, you have a loving girlfriend who all provide you with love and support, but you've built bonds with these friends too. It
Mhm.
doesn't just because you build bonds with them doesn't mean that you have to give them all your time. But the same thing can be said for your family and your girlfriend. Just because you have built bonds with them does not mean that you have to give them all your time. You, a grown adult, have responsibilities. You have things that you have to do. So do your friends. So does your family. So does your girlfriend. As adults, we all choose where we put our time and our energy, and we're expected to choose based off of priority and what needs to be done as opposed to what we'd rather do. Because I'm pretty sure, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, because you know your friends more than I do, but I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that they also wish they could spend just as much as time with you as you wish you could spend with them. Is that a correct assumption?
I would say so. I mean, I would hope so, more so than, but yeah, probably.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I hope so too. But at the same time, confidently speaking, we can assume that they want to spend as much time with you as you want to spend with them.
Yeah,
Okay. With that being said, like I said before, you're all adults. And now that all of you are out of undergrad, you have to take the next step in life. The thing is, your next step looks different than theirs, correct? Do you understand?
yeah,
You're the only one in grad school. Everyone else is working or not. Do you understand?
yeah,
Okay. You all have to prioritize, what you need to prioritize. Like you said, you put family first and you put academic first, which means that you have your priorities straight. Unfortunately, when you prioritize something, something has to go down on the list. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Okay.
Sadly, it does make
So,
sense.
yeah, we can't have our cake and eat it too. But I'm pretty sure when you get back to the cake, that is friendship. They'll eat it with you, and like you said before, things will continue like nothing ever changed, back like you never left. You rocking with me? Like, are we
Yeah.
okay? All right. So, since we're approaching the end of our meeting, um, excuse me, sorry. If you not having a job is something that's causing you um any sadness in its own, since you did mention that you feel as though since they're progressing in their field, you feel as though you're getting left behind. Perhaps I could provide you with some career counseling that may like allow you to find some sort of job that may fit your schedule if you have the time, like a part-time job in your field at a bachelor level that can get you some experience so that you can at least feel as though you're progressing in your field somewhat. And it'll be a good resume booster if you can find a job. Is that something that would interest you?
Possibly to at least
Okay.
like get some of my thoughts off of things.
Okay. All right. But Patrick, I'm so very glad that you were able to make it to your meeting today. You were a treat to talk to. Do you have any questions for me?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay, no problem.
Did I email
Well,
you if anything were to arise?
oh, of course, you have my business card. You can email me whenever you would like. If anything goes wrong or if there's like an emergency, feel free to email me.
I'll take
Um,
care of you in a quick minute. Calm down. Sorry, it's the
Sarah,
pup.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for taking Patrick's time, Sarah. But yeah, feel free to email me if anything were to go wrong, if you have any questions about our next meeting. I'll be using that email actually in a minute to send you some resources for career counseling if that's something that you still be interested in.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
All right. Well, with that being said, Patrick, thanks for coming and I hope you have a great day.
You too. I'm so sorry for her.
It's okay. I understand. Have a good
Right.
night.
You too.